to that decision making and what they're able to do around the siege creeps. Can they take objectives? Because I don't feel like Piggy Killer are going to give their lives up for free. You know, from the stories that I've heard from some of the C players that go over to play in China, that is something that's drilled into their mind. Don't give your life up for free. So we'll see if that's going to bleed through to the boys on Piggy Killer.
So for them to unlock the kind of catapult timings, what lanes need to go right for them to be able to look to play around maybe the 5-10 minute mark when those catapults are spawning?
I really don't think Slark changes much of anything around that catapult timing. It's really, to me, just this this top lane. The Tiny plus the Snapfire. Very, very strong lane once you hit that level 3 mark like I was talking about before. Yes, you've got probably one of the strongest laners in the Enchantress to be able to provide protection for the Lone Druid. I'm just going to have a quick look, actually. What's the Lone Druid holding? Okay, so it is a Blightstone as well onto the Bear. I quite like that. So it's going to allow you to actually still get some harassment in onto the front lines without necessarily putting outside in harm's way a fair amount. And he's holding on to a decent amount of stats for himself as well.
A minor thing, but Harm was able to get the deny on their Observer Ward mid, so stop the D ward going the way of Piggy Killer. And in the end, we're going to get a 2-for-2 with the bounty runes as well. So we do have a bit of a lane swap, though. Looks like they're going to try to avoid this Slark into the Tide. I am a very big fan of this setup.
Anytime you can look to change things up, it's a pretty big deal. I mean, Chola, poor Chola, he's got a lot of mangoes, so just looking to, I suppose, spam out the spells as much as possible. You can just see Blightstone immediately first hit route. I wonder if that's a bit of an indication of how this game's going to go, but really doesn't feel like Winter's going to be able to get too much out of this lane, unfortunately. Chola's going to need to spend a lot of his time just trying to harass, and every time he moves forward, outside's just going to give him the business. Won't even be able to block up either of these camps, so outside has free reign to be able to take away one of these, the Hill Troll Priest. You've got even more survivability for the lane.
Would we just like to see Winter start running top? Because don't you
it's too late.
This Slark? Okay.
Won't have time, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, now you avoid one of the better matchups that you were hoping for. Probably a big reason why you did pick the Slark to lane into the Tide Hunter, and it's going to give Fly a free time to be able to farm on this Druid. Outside's already got a hard pull as well, so this creep wave is going to be in a great position for Dire look to play with. They got a goddamn Satyr as well to prove to be an issue as well. So bottom looks like it is already set up for success. Nova try and get aggressive early with the level 2s. Top lane, though, it's actually Friss that's able to find first blood, something we brought up in the draft, that the Tide Hunter and the Mirana, quite the laning duo, but the Gush was to be able to set up for the Mirana's right-click damage. 62 base, went double Slippers and double Branch, so a lot of stats to be able to help out with that right-click.
Yeah, most of the times when you see the Mirana and they've used a bunch of leaps, it's to get away, but I'm pretty sure Frisk used that one to play a lot more aggressively and actually jump in and use that extra attack speed. Yeah, they do get Fly, though.
Oh, oh no.
He just summoned the bear.
He's already All right. Okay, well done.
It's a big deal.
A very, very big deal.
I wonder how much you're going to need to give the Tango over to the Slark here before you get back and try and make any sort of pulls happen, but you can really afford to leave Winter in this lane solo. Outside, of course, is going to make sure that you're not getting a free pull off here on Chola. They might actually try and go for a bit of a kill onto the Ench, but he's level 2 now, so he's going to have that Ench's attendance available. It's going to be enough, though?
Might not be. Winter looking for a little bit more damage. Won't be able to find it, though, so outside's just be able to slip on away. So the creep wave is at least in a pretty good position for Piggy Killers down bottom.
And just as I was about to say, I wonder if he's going to queue up the Orb of Venom. It was actually already coming out to him on the Courier, so Winter playing this lane very well. He's been on point with the pounces that he's been able to land so far, and even just pulling the lane back. It's not going to manipulate it that much because it's just the single Hill Troll Berserker. But actually, outside, probably more likely to be just pulling... Well, doesn't get the full wave, actually. Was thinking he might have tried to pull the full wave back towards the tower. So, a couple of uncharacteristic mistakes by Piggy Killer once again in this early stages of the game.
Yep. And meanwhile, though, this mid matchup looking very comfortable at the moment here for XM. 24-5 compared to the 16-1. So... XM is off to a great start, and this is a lane that's going to favor him. So this is a matchup that favors him overall, and even Frisk is... Oh my. It's getting cute. That's so rough when you got the enemy team's supports rotating. Bottom lane, Fly again. Whenever the Slark's able to get on top of him. That's another bear down.
This is really not what you were expecting out of, this lane switch up. You were wanting to get a bit of a free time here, especially like Edge has got basically the best creeps to have had. He had the Hill Troll Priest to be able to start with, so just a little bit of that extra healing for the lane for your bear. The bear still dies, they have to resummon it, then you die, then you get a mana burn creep, still dies, so things not looking too great. I wonder how many mangoes is he holding on to on Chola? Still got the 3, so once this Lone Druid comes back to the lane... He's actually gone top.
He's top?
Yep. All right. Not what you want. Still a minute away from that bear resummon as well. Talked about their laning prowess again on
His
Supernova.
lane, XM might be able to get a kill on Han. Let's get some protection out of the shield crash, just enough to keep him alive in the end.
Got to make sure he gets away as quickly as possible. Good movement by Chola, coming through to this mid lane, making sure that XM isn't going to be able to completely push this one out, but he has to be careful with his positioning because XM is just one creep away from hitting up onto that level 6. They actually see Chola as well. I wonder if he's going to go for a dive here. Wanting to maintain his status to be able to influence these lanes with Pango just about to TP back towards the lane.
And we're going to see straight away. Oh, we stopped the shield crash. So Han not going to be playing around with that absorption. XM is going to be able to dive deep as a result to this, and they can take the tower. Outside actually doesn't get the aggro, so not the worst. The fact that at least get the trade when we thought they were going to get the kill without dying top lane. Fly.
Not again.
Pretty low. Yeah. Very worried.
They'd love to have an observer ward up here just to be able to place up into this top side of the lane like where Sheep's patrolling to right now. He's actually going to go for the full wrap around, and the creep wave isn't going to see him. Found him again. Fly.
He does not look comfortable on this Druid. Just watching him CS, missing a lot of last hits in the lane. And
really feels like it's going to have to be the XM show, right? He's doing a good job in this mid lane, taking down the tower to half HP off the back of that Pango kill, where he had to TP back to the lane. Things are going to become a tiny bit easier for Han, though, once he gets a couple more last hits, being able to secure that level 6 for himself. There we go. He's picked it up.
Frisk?
Oh. Actually ended up swashbuckling forward into the arrow.
Yeah, Frisk going to go down, and now XM as well. Should be okay. Hasn't used the zip just yet, but it's not going to matter. With an early use of the Rolling Thunder. Puts it on cooldown, which is a bit of an opening now for XM to potentially find a kill. He's only got outside to play with.
Chola's kind of low as well, and they would realize this. So, that Observer Ward still able to stay up on the dire side of the mid lane. So XM not going to be able to continue pushing on forward. They have a complete understanding of where everything is. XM, is he going to get the bottle refill? I think it's probably going to be, no, not too slow. Able to get it through from Frisk there.
So, is it Midas time for Fly? I keep looking over to see if he's queued something up. He doesn't have anything yet. How do you even recover on the Druid? Sheep?
It's going to have to be.
Like you said, the XM show is going to continue. You need to keep this here for the Storm Spirit. Once you with Han going over, we'll be force outside to pick it up, but...
It's not just a big win for the Snapfire as well, but having the Slark able to just lane solo into the Tide Hunter. You're very happy with this one as well. Tide's still getting a decent amount of farm, but
Yeah.
you are not concerned at all here on Winter. So you're going to be able to hit some nice timings and, again, go for that relatively early Aghanim Scepter just to be able to, again, continue to create a lot of harassment for this Lone Druid.
They can
Shoot up the
definitely
Midas.
kill the Slark with like a Ravage into XM Vortex. That'll be enough control to get rid of Winter. Oh,
Nice
see,
scan.
he's got 15 stacks, actually, the Wand and the Fairy Fire. In fact, it's going to be a fight that still breaks out over by the Outpost. Both the supports from Nova, they're in some trouble. Chip's going to get the combo, which will
Slark's
at
coming.
least help Chola get some distance away. And now with Winter here, going to be cautious though, because even Ava's starting to move on over as well. Unprotected with the Rolling Thunder, looking to try and create some chaos. It's going to bounce down to the low ground. XM in some trouble. He's used all his mana, so there's going to be no damage fall up inside the Ravage. Ava popping it early on, and XM, he's still going to die. Chen even TP's down to get involved from the offlane Snapfire. So once again, back-to-back games for Supernova that the early game they're shining in. Fortunately for them, they won't get Ava though with a nice TPR, recognizing there weren't no stuns to stop that.
That was literally just delivered by the courier as well. I had a look when he was making the run away, and once the kisses were popped, it was the right decision. They just didn't have any idea that the courier was coming with that last saving piece of paper to be able to get back to base.
Healing power.
Outside? He's going to be in trouble. Cookie finds a connection. He's got 2 points up in the Nature's Attendance, but he will still go down. And Mohan should be okay as well. Look at him standing strong.
Not a ton of mana
Treads,
to play around with
raindrop.
XM.
No.
It's going into the Corrosion, but I would kind of prefer to see Han just rush this Diffusal. Like, he has had an incredibly solid game. It's going to still deal really well with these heroes before the BKB start to come out. Honestly, even the Lone Druid as well. Like, just being able to completely burn the mana from the Bear, for example, with the Swashbuckle could be great to prevent something like a Savage Roar even from coming through. It's not going to get into the Shard anytime soon with the amount of farm that he's been able to get.
They might lose the Bear as well. Oh, he doesn't get the toss on it. Very close. They are starting to smoke top though. But they're already here to try and take the fight. XM looking to try and target down Chen at the moment. They're going to be quick with the kill and look to get out because read it, they're coming. They'll find the Snapfire.
Oh,
Here comes the reinforcement time with the Rolling Thunder from really far away. And oh no. Fly gets blown up. Now XM's used all his mana pool as well. Got the detection under the tower. He might still tick out to the curse. Looks like, would that be the case? The help of the Veil or Shield Crush XM? Ooh. Oh no, he's into him. Wait, do they see him?
Oh.
No, wait, what the hell am I watching? XM?
Oh, what a player.
They got
Ooh,
swashed
2
up, surely. He
seconds.
should go down.
Sidestep.
They dodge it? No, what?
Oh,
no.
this man.
Wait, how
Toss.
are people so freaking good at Dota? Why can't I do that? Why can't I do that in my pubs, huh? I try, but it doesn't work. I sidestep, but they still get me.
Nutty.
Tell me.
I mean,
Tell me.
I'm just remembering back to an old Sing Sing quote where it's like, when he's playing against worse people, when he tries to go for these next level things, it doesn't work out because they move in the way that's not, like, ideal, you know? So maybe that's it. Maybe you're just too good.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you. That's boosting
saving
my
that.
confidence.
That's
I appreciate
the only
that.
one you're ever going to get.
Dude, outside got the tier 1 tower off the back of that mid. There's still Dark Trust summoners. Oh, God. Now, they're even going to be eyeing up Winter down bottom. So, again, this is the combo that we were bringing up earlier. You got the Ravage to be able to set up for the arrow, and hopefully the Storm Spirit if he looks to come on down.
It's going to take a while, though. And this is a Tide Hunter that's gone into a bit more of a beefier build. He's there to stop the push. He's not a Meteor Hammer style. What are we looking at?
Oh, I'm seeing Fly with his Midas recipe and not having a bear to get the full components.
Soon,
that
5
is
seconds.
hurting. Yeah, he's had it for a while, though. Like, I've looked over it. It's been quite long since the bear's been dead. There we go.
I mean, he literally just resummoned the bear 5 seconds before he died. So, yeah, they got the kill, then he resummoned it, got all that gold and experience, and still dies. So the road to recovery begins. Good position by Frisk.
Long road.
Oh, Sheep just misused the Tumbler's toy there. Not sure if this is worth the Rolling Thunder, but, well, there's that defusal reveal. So they're going to know that this is available. I would look to, I guess they're feeling confident enough just to be able to go towards this bottom lane, but mid feels like a much higher priority for mine. They're looking to try and catch out Ava. If they're able, this is what the Tide Hunter with this hood build does, right? It forces you to commit a full rotation with the team, right? Because he is very, very tanky, even with the Slark, even with the Diffusal Blade, that you just need to address that. And still, with all those people, they're not going to be able to take this tower super easily. Eventually, they should. But look at outside. He's picking up a lot of farm for himself. Like you said before, he was able to take the mid-tier 1 tower solo. He's setting the Dark Troll Summon to top. So this Enchantress is really making up ground for everything that Lone Druid wasn't able to do.
They're actually going to stop the arrow, and he runs into it. And the chain control is going to come out afterwards. A defensive global silence, but it does not matter. And now this tower is going to go down as well, with the TPs getting cancelled. So nice sequence of events favoring Piggy Killers.
Tiny and Snap have the TP. Someone's going to have to come back and defend this. I'm not sure if you want to pop the glyph quite so soon. It is still, of course, that Dark Troll Summoner doing a ton of damage. And
wow.
Here we go. Snap's coming.
And they're going to cut off the rotation to top. Chola is going to be caught out. A little bit extra gold for XM. It's a bit of a streak as well. And you were saying earlier it needs to be the XM show. And no, he's second in net worth. So Chola's definitely going to enable him. They might be able to catch out Frisk though. What the heck?
Han just went too far forward. He was trying to get the swashbuckle through for the extra hit. And well, that just meant that Sheep actually ended up connecting in onto him with the toss. So not able to get that full combo off. It's just these little mistakes. That's all Piggy Killer are going to need to be able to come back into this one, despite probably one of the worst laning stages I could see, I can remember from a Lone Druid, and he's still only 1,000 behind.
Flyfly, he's licking his lips. Sees an opportunity to get the kill. With help of XM, should be able to find it. Although Chen's staying alive for quite long, and the boys are starting to rotate. Flyfly might think it's safe to farm, but that's not going to be the case. He's got to get out, looking to duck into the tree line. Savage Roar, will he make it? No, Han stops him short. He's going to hope the bear can rise in time, but it's not going to matter. Eddie's gone. Never mind.
Poor bear. Unbearable.
Yeah, don't do that again.
No, I'll do it all day. I got more.
No, please, no.
Well,
what's Ava go? He's got 2,800 gold saved up. What are we wanting out of this for the Tide?
Don't hate the halberd that he's got queued. It really doesn't feel like it's Aghanim Scepter is going to be able to do too much. I say that as he queues it up entirely. Like, is it just delay? Is it pushing out these lanes? Like Enchantress has done a really good job of it.
So sometimes the thing with Tide, when you're against some matchups that you can't stand your ground against, the Scepter can be nice where you can play distance. You're going to get a lot of value out of Gush eventually when Flyfly is actually doing something, because he's going Deso as well, so you're going to have double minus armor. So there is kind of that, but the Slark is someone, if you're in the middle of the fight, Slark's just going to feast on you. So Gush can kind of help you play a little bit towards the back line.
Speaking of Slark, getting towards that Aghanim Scepter for himself, holding on to just the single sentry ward for now. But they've got a lot of map to be able to play around with. These wards having to be in super unorthodox places that Slark probably doesn't want to be at this period of time. Piggy Killer, they know they're playing from behind right now. They're giving the most safe farm on the map to Flyfly, even if it's not going to influence the map state as it currently is.
He's going to reveal himself, and as a result, they should be able to get the kill with the combos coming out. Instant use of the ultimates, and we're just seeing the value they're getting out of this Veil from Chol. Like, it's a great item for them considering all the spell damage they have, and it's really helping out to be able to find these quick bursts.
Yeah, love the Veil on heroes like the Hoodwink, the Silencer, the Ogre, but like you said, it's really what it does for the whole team. A lot of the abilities, a lot of the damage, excuse me, that you're coming from isn't from right clicks. It's really only Slark that's going to do that for the first little bit of the game. That's a nice Philosopher's Stone for Sheep, assuming he's going to be the one carrying it. Oh, they might Did they even give this to Fly? Just to hold onto the real
lane?
Lone Druid?
Ava's in some trouble. It's on the outside here. Does he want to use a Ravage defensive? The rest of the team's not nearby, but
No
might even be
detection.
required. Let's
Well,
use
they
the
had
Moonlight Shadow.
They had a sentry on the Slark, but maybe it was in the backpack and took too long.
Scan. They still know they're here. It's still holding red at the moment. Han. Oh no, the Invis giving them all the information, but the Ravage is going to go out. But the Mortimer Kisses, it's not cancelled. So it's enough damage to get the kill onto Frisk. And so he's going to have another pounce up in a couple of seconds. He won't be able to land it though onto Ava, and as a result, he might be able to escape, but Sheep is into the middle. We'll turn to it with ease. Fly's bear once again. It's going to go down. He does have a resummon at least, so we were playing with the bear back up, but still
a lot of money each time.
Yes, a lot of money.
And experience, more importantly. You know, these are heroes that really thrive off of having that early experience. Pango especially. You know, the faster you can get into that level 25 talent, even just level 15, with the fact that he's gone for this Aghanim Scepter early on for Han is going to be big. And it's not really a game where you need to go a Maelstrom, right? You could just look to go Basher after this.
Sam? Oh, Winter's missing a lot of pounces.
It was close.
Not a lot of mana though for XM.
Ooh, 2,
Maybe?
1.
Does he have the pounce? Oh, they just got him. This one's going to be on the mark. Beautifully done from Winter. The big kill for them to find. Ward's been pretty on point so far from Supernova. Of course, it does kind of help out with having a Slark, meaning that you can de-ward yourselves, but in regards to the supports, have done a very good job to place his vision across the map to enable some of the kills.
Really does feel like Ava and Outside are needing to take over this one a little bit, push in the bottom lane, force some defensive rotations back up, give more space for Lone Druid. He's got the Deso now on the Bear, almost level 12 as well, so going to get a nice little HP bonus to his true form once he gets to that state. And more importantly, the Aghanim Shard. That's really going to prevent a lot of this deep dive coming through from the Slark especially, but they're wanting to keep the pressure up off the back of the Aegis to perhaps go for a few of these deeper dives themselves. There we go. Look at all that space that they've been able to make. Tower's down to 50 HP on this bottom side, so you might have gotten Roche, but you're going to make it a little bit more challenging to play around this next little bit. Wonder if Winter moves up top, moves up a little bit. He will go underneath that vision. He's even going to get this deny off because he sees the Mud Golem walking around wanting to get a few extra hits in.
All things considering, though, this net worth lead has gone back into Piggy Killer's favor. So Fly's got that Deso. What's coming on the Corey? He's got the Shard now as well. So
Yep.
We'll see. I mean, this is going to be the big kind of moment for Supernova. We saw them be able to find First Roche in the previous game, but it's a lineup that works with First Roche much better than what they had prior. They can get very active and can look to starve out them up. It's a little unfortunate that it is daytime, so you don't have that nighttime vision for the Slark to look to utilize, but still, you're going to look to really try and starve out Piggy Killer with this Ages of the Immortal.
So much of the damage coming through from Piggy Killer as well is like single target direct damage. Yeah, you got a little bit of splash coming from, you know, the Anchor Smash, the Ravage, the Static Remnant, but as soon as he gets into this Aghanim Shard on the Slark, like you've got two ways of just being completely untargetable and just having free reign in a lot of these fights. He doesn't have the Aegis to play around with, though. It was actually Han that picked that one up because of how quickly the Slark TP'd down towards that bottom side. But well, can they take more with the last couple of minutes of it?
The Outpost, have they found Fly?
Oh, not again.
Someone's
Someone's got to carry some dust.
We're going to get rooted up. Meanwhile, inside the mid lane, though.
It's a big kill.
The Outpost still with the Bears in some trouble. The Force Staff's going to help him reposition. Fly continuing to escape with the Rolling Thunder. Will help close the distance. Can they keep him alive with the Nature's Attendance? They cannot. Han with the finishing blow, but the rest of the team is starting to move on over. They've got the Ravager ready for Ava. A quick use. But can they deal with the Slark? Frisk going to look to hold him down here with the arrow. A big kill for them to find. Now Han as well is in some trouble, but the shield crash, it's not a gov mitigation. They can set themselves up for this next respawn. Han, it's going to be a very difficult escape for the Pangolin. He'll try and TP out, but Frisk stops it short, gets the godlike streak as well for the Marauder, and that's a big fight that Piggy Killers goes their way. The advantage for Supernova, they don't get a whole lot out of this first Roshan.
They don't. They're able to take tier 1 towers, and you probably want at least a single tier 2 to be able to feel truly satisfied with it. That's the downside, of course, of giving over the Aegis to a Pango that has a lot of survivability already, right? They really don't have anyone that's going to hit him during the Rolling Thunder, and well, with the way he's using the shield crash, you can just look to time that one so that you're barely taking any damage. So I would feel a bit differently if the Slark had a BKB perhaps to be able to play around with, but he just didn't. It was great combinations of the stuns together, Ravage being used. Didn't even matter at the end of the day that he was underneath a Shadow Dance at the time. Yeah. He's actually just going to go into a Basher as well. I don't know, man. I really value the BKB this game for Slark. I feel like they've got the damage. Basher on Han is really what I'm looking for.
Dire are scanning.
And they're running at Firefly again. Dude has never got a break.
At least you got outside.
Scans on the mark as well, so they know he's still here.
Should die.
Oh, with all that information, all the 5 men going down bottom, so XN's going to be able to shove up mid. They've shoved out top as well. So still, regardless, a lot of the map control going the way Piggy Killer. Is Networth League continuing to grow?
That's doing what Ava's doing. He's just constantly cutting waves. He's done it for the past, what feels like 15 minutes. Doing it bot, doing it top, forcing defensive movements, and this is not how you want to be playing. You want to be playing on the offensive, but, well, forces Winter to come back.
Rabbit's still on cooldown.
You know he's around as well.
Ooh, Slark with the gem, so close to getting that jump. They're going to be right. Look to reset, so...
I think they can afford to farm for a little bit. Like,
on
it doesn't feel great
to be...
No, on Supernova. Like, I want to see them with the Basher on the Pango. He's got his level 15, so he's got the shield crash and ball. And I know he's going the Basher on the Slark. I'm still wanting the BKB for him. It's really just setting up for that next Roche fight to enable yourself to
mid lane Han. Look at the jump. It's a pretty good global stance, but XM's already popped the BKB, and Frisk as well purges it off thanks to the Greaves. So the fault control was there. Really nicely done. I mean, they could look to go again potentially if you want to. They're currently having some vision not on their side. Got to be cautious though. Ravage is at the ready. They can't group up. 4 staff going to be able to break the pounce. Ava's looking for the opening, but the Ava onto 3. It doesn't matter.
Depth shroud.
Ravage is out, but still, I mean, Winter's okay for the moment. He's popped all his defensive utility though, so Winter actually might have to be careful. The Savage Roar sets up for the arrow once again. Frisk is on the mark, and now this is the opportunity. Piggy Killer finally can start to chase down some of the members. Firefly wants all that revenge, all that hatred. He can let it out from Prior. Unfortunately, he won't be able to let the anger out onto Chen. He can blink away, so it looks like the snap fight is okay, but a big team fight victory going the way of Piggy Killer.
Does indeed. Got the melee creep just standing inside the Roche pit for now. Not going to be able to find out Chen. Even just looking for a further chase. They see that where the Wild Ring is running, just trying for the surprise. Yeah, they tried to catch him up on the high ground. Arrow was on point. The Savage Roar was on point as well. He's just going to be able to shrug this one off for now. Might be able to get one more creep wave pushed out. Basically do what Ava's been doing for the past 20 minutes. And then TP back to base. I think that's going to be the play. He's going to need to be quick though. Arrow, arrow, arrow. Oof. Right on the money.
Another big victory off the back of that fight is the fact they're able to get the gem off the Slark. So a lot of the vision advantage is going to go the way of Piggy Killer.
Especially important right before Roshan. So a lot of the Supernova vision is on the defensive side rather than playing aggressively. And we know this is a lineup that likes to play aggressive. You've got Slark with Aghanim Scepter. You've got Pango with Blink Dagger. He's actually gone for the Aghanim Shard instead of the Basher. Not sure how I feel about that one. Maybe just Well, you can't use it inside of even the entangle, so
Yeah.
not sure.
Ava top lane might... He's got the gem as well. This is a really valuable kill. And they're going to find it. No one else is playing near the tide. Real slow chase
is the question.
I was going to say. Doesn't have many trees to be able to run around, so all right.
5 heroes
Kill, they
needed.
know they... There we go. Gem pick back up.
He's almost got a BKB for himself, so then he's not going to be able to get caught up onto allow those Essence Shift stacks to be stolen away quite so easily.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Slark going for the Silver Edge. He's a little tired of having to face up into this Tide Hunter. Even the Lone Druid to a lesser extent, right? You're able to just smash into him. You don't have to worry about the entangling claws. If you're able to get the break onto the bear, means you're much more confident in man fighting without the risk for yourself. Also, the disarm, of course, on the Pango is going to be a factor.
They're trying to gear up for a defense, though. Radiant's scared, but it's in the top jungle. TP there just yet. XM looking for the Vortex to set up for the arrow, but pretty good timing out of the Dark Pack. That Winter's going to be okay.
Denied it, huh? Kind of an odd decision, especially considering it's right before Roche, and it was a pretty quick respawn. They're going to get instant information about it with that Wild Wing Ripper, and they're going to go for a smoke in response to it. Can they look to go for a wraparound?
To group up. They're ready to Ravage. Great reactions out of Han. Libosan's going to come out though. Ava pops the BKB, looking to stand strong, but over to the right side. Winter and Han in combination together onto Firefly, but Firefly gets the bonus health out of the ultimate. Isn't enough to keep him alive. The Ravage to cover his tracks. He's not even dead just yet. Finally, the finishing blow is going to come out for Han, but at what cost? You've already lost to Slark. He'll be okay with his own TP. Sam, he's looking for Sheep. They have a way to stop it, should have the damage, and well, the Vortex is there just in case. So in the end, Firefly once again, it's a sacrifice. He's up to 7 deaths for the Lone Druid, but regardless, Piggy Killer got to be pretty happy that they do come out on top in that skirmish.
It's another time where Slark's just getting locked out. I don't want to be a broken record, but the man needs the BKB. Finally, he gets it queued up, but this is already after like a full Mage Slayer, after a Shadow Blade. He might consider going the Silver Edge first. Really feels like just Dota 101 to get that sort of thing. And, well, for both sides, they did lose their core. So this isn't going to be a super quick Roshan. You do have a decent amount of minus armor, I suppose, on Piggy Killer's side. And well, they've got that outpost to be able to TP too. So will they look to respond to it at all? Doesn't seem like it.
XM's going to be pretty happy with
Love
this.
this. Yeah.
Probably give him the shard as well.
Maybe the tendies. Yeah.
Oh, yes. All right, well, that's more AoE control. Proved to be a potential issue for the Slark. He had it queued up anyway.
Call it early. Ava's setting himself up to be MVP once again. Top of the net worth, not even holding on to the gem. Constantly made space, just the one death.
Yeah.
Probably was the one that called that lane switch up and moved back down towards the bottom side of the map and still farmed against the Slark once he had a couple of levels for himself.
Mid lane, XM. Looking for the opening. Hanzak's shard's going to be able to protect him. And Sheep's going to try and find an angle in as well. But XM has the Aegis, so they're actually going to counter-initiate into the middle as XM. Protected with the BKB for the moment. He's going to be in some trouble with the Global Silence, but they've got so much sustain. Frisk helping him out with the Greaves, so XM is more than okay, and that's a pretty big win for Piggy Killer. A lot of ultimates expended there, Nova. They're going to be cautious now with their positioning across the map.
I just want to back up a little bit. They don't have the Ravage to be able to play around with for another 10 seconds. They didn't continue to extend into the Supernova side of the map, considering the lack of vision that they had at that time. Now that they've got the Ravage, they just want to establish themselves on the map, play around this ancient camp, and push down one of the last remaining tier 2 towers that they've got to be able to siege into. Again, this is a level 18 Lone Druid. Had a rough time, but he's certainly recovered. Basically level with all other cores with the exception of his own Tide Hunter. And he's the one that's got the tome queued up. Probably going to be quite some time until he gets into it, but he realizes how important this level 20 is for him as well. Just allows you to stay in true form for a lot of the time.
Onto Frisk. Frisk's going to be okay. Hansel's going to try and find the opening with the Rolling Thunder. It's a decent combo out for the moment. Where's the damage really coming through? There's no one else there to be able to follow up, and now Ava, he's got the angle for the Ravage. It's not the greatest one, though. Radiant have done a really good job considering they still didn't have the global silence to work with the sheep. Looking for the toss back. They're going to be able to find it. Pounce. XM's in some trouble. Second round of the Pounce, and XM, he's going to go down. Fly though, looking for some revenge, but the bear won't be able to get the damage, so they're on full out retreat. Outside's the one with the gem. Can he TP out? That'll be stopped short thanks to Sheep. They even got a glimpse of Ava as well, just over the swashbuckler, and as a result, Ava will be okay.
And they got the gem back though, and it's on the Slark, so he's going to be the one doing the majority of this dewarding. Big wins for them. Only surprisingly the 6 permanent Agi stacks onto Winter here. So hasn't really been able to build up too much of that later game presence for themselves. But you just see how value this Aghanim Scepter on the Pango is being. Just tons of AoE control that you're able to provide in these team fights. Yes, the BKBs are getting a little bit of value on the Storm as well as the Lone Druid, but it's just not enough.
See, they even gave the Tome. Missed the Slark, so got the 20 now.
Arrow connects.
Yeah, maybe just a bit of poking.
Trying to force some kind of response.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
All right. Damn, Chola's it's pretty close to refresher, even after that buyback.
The Veil gives him some stats as well. Instead of choosing to put more into the Glaives of Wisdom, realizing that he's really not in a position to get any right clicks off other than just having the one there for the int steal. Don't think he's gotten any, by the way, unfortunately. But yeah, just putting it into the stats after this. Just wanting to make sure that he's always got the mana pool to be able to get that off.
Wonder if they have any neutral items that he could pick up pretty shortly.
The Philosopher's Stone gives 200.
Oh, true. Oh, never mind. This is definitely the best one then. I was looking at a rope, but I didn't even know the
Bottom tower is under attack.
Stone gave 200 mana. There you go.
That's what I'm here for.
Thank you, sir. Quite the item. As a silencer to shove through, you're always kind of praying that you get
Even
this
tiny.
Philosopher's Stone. So that he bought 3 mangoes. All right, Chola's like, we're ready. I got the mangoes.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He's going to be revealed on this bottom side, so let's see how active they are in constantly checking inventories. It's going to reveal a lot about how they're going to be able to take these next couple of fights if they're wanting to. The Aegis would have been about to expire right about now, so teams know there's about 3 minutes left if they're active here. Man, look at Ava once again with this Tide Hunter going for a Scythe of Vice. Again, feeling like he needs to do everything this game. He's been pushing, he's been providing almost the perfect ravages every single time. He's a tanky beast, just standing in on the front lines. He's forcing backwards rotations, and he might be the one to find the Slark.
That Hex also probably gives him enough mana pool if he also wants to go into Refresher next.
Yep, wouldn't hate it.
Which is going to be a nice thing. You always need to kind of consider those mana items, especially for this hero. I was also looking, doesn't seem like they have some neutral items to kind of help out in that regard.
I'll find the Mirana.
Friska's in a bit of trouble. Couple leaps, no more though. I'm going to guess right with the swashbuckle. Won't even make the attempt.
Tier 4 items time.
Okay.
Oh,
Prism's going to be pretty nice for Die. Both sides got a spell Prism, so they are very happy with that.
who's even holding on to this? I guess the Tide takes the spell Prism?
Radiant's bottom tower.
I would...
I mean, the thing is, with the Lone Druid, if you give it to him, then he literally has 100% true form uptime. So
Radiant's
I
middle
really
tower
wouldn't hate
is
seeing
under
that. But
Yep, because... like Ava, like this Blast Rig's pretty important to keep him live versus the Slark.
yep.
So we'll see.
This,
Yeah,
actually. He's gotten the Flicker over on the Lone Druid, so that's a nice way to be able to get rid of the Global Silence and always be able to land that true form without having to buy the BKB for yourself.
oh, they're high grounding. I mean, they know that Chola bought back Price. If they can catch him off guard, it's going to be a pretty big kill. But you see the position with the Silencer.
Silver Edge is now showing. They've got BKB as well
Radiant's
on the Slark. Luckily enough, they were able to use the...
They saw the illusion rune taken, so Ava's starting to move over. Very, very quick on the TP out from the Pango. Once he got it, it was a couple seconds late. They actually might have caught him out.
There's that scythe. They're backing up entirely, but it feels like it's just to be able to secure that scythe of ice without enemy team knowing about it. Outside going to be the one that reveals in that mid lane, but they would have seen him appear out of nowhere, so maybe just trying to bait a bit of a movement forward.
Oh, the Storm Spirit's going to get caught as well. Early use of the Global Silence, but of course, he's got a second round to use. XM, a defensive BKB. There's the double Global, and they don't really get much out of it for the moment. Tidehunter, a defensive use of the BKB, but he's wanting to get into the middle. Ravage onto 3, XM with the follow-up. They've gotten rid of the Pangolier. They can now look to turn to the Tiny as well. This can enable Winter. They've used a lot, so the Slark starting to freely get the Essence going against the Tide. They're doing a pretty good job to kite the Slark, though. He hasn't been able to lock onto his target, surrounded by 4 members, but meanwhile, XM, he's on an island. No one else was backing up the Storm Spirit, so a very awkward fight from either side, and Winter, he wants to get back in the middle. Fly in some trouble, looking for the resummon. They'll be able to fear them away. The Hex is there, but hang on, the Pango he brought back. Oh, Han, no, you can't be losing a Pango like that. A dieback for the position too. Now it's up to Winter to potentially turn the team fight. He feels like there is no shot at that being the case, and unfortunately for them, Sheep even brought back as well, so Piggy Killers, they will come out on top, and all right, Roche for the taking.
They might not even feel like they need to. The Pango is such a big part of their team fight. The ongoing control needed to be able to lock down this lone druid. You can see he's gotten a couple of Wraith Bands, just realizing how important that is for him. I mean, with holding the Flicker, doesn't need to go the BKB, but he still realizes the importance of it if he's able to get into it.
They see the Slark.
Ava's just been slightly off with his Scythe of Ice usages. He's been doing basically everything perfect this game so far, but a couple of times now just using it a little bit too quickly, with the Slark able to get the Dark Pact off and then not able to respond effectively enough when you know that it's not available. So well, they'll claim the Arcane Rune. Don't think they'll be able to get use out of this in combination together with a Ravage, unfortunately, but still enables them to go into this Roche Pit with comfort, knowing again that there's no Pangolier. This is Roshan number 3, and it's got an Aghanim Scepter on it as well. All right.
Probably the Storms, right?
Could be. I wouldn't hate seeing it on the Lone Druid as well, though. Just let him stay even further back in safety.
Okay. And currently, though, we've got the Aegis on Fly. Cheese is in the backpack as well. We'll keep tabs on where that Aghanim's Blessing does go. He is still holding it for the moment.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Just acting as a courier right now. He's gone for a scythe too.
Yep.
Oh, that's
very, very close to it.
Stormcraft is real nice against Global Silence, against Slark even, to potentially break a little bit of that chain control.
That is always kind of the one big critique, right, of the Silencers, that there's just so many neutral items that completely nullify your ulti impact. You've got 2 with the Flicker now, and that Stormcrafter, so I mean, no one's even holding the Timeless Relic, which is saying something considering how strong that item, that neutral is.
They haven't even secured all of them, so they could even just get a Witchbane, so they've got another way to be able to deal with it. And this is before anything like Lotus has come out or anything like that.
On Dire or Radiant? I'll hold that, because... So got Han? Wait, Ava? Oh, he's going to get us off the mark. And Han, he's not going to give them any opportunity to maybe catch him up. Instant use of the ultimate. They're not going to get anything out of it though, so at least it does keep him alive. Bit of a window now with this Rolling Thunder on cooldown for 50 seconds.
And a single range creep in that mid lane. Just doing it for the boys, making sure to disable that backdoor protection. And yeah, you see what happens if you let a Lone Druid eventually get to that later stages of the game. He's got the AC, he's got the Desolator, just the Force charges into it. They're really looking to back him up with this Tidehunter off to the side.
Quickly keep tabs as well with that Blessing. XM, he did eat it. So he's got the Scepter now here for the Storm Spirit.
And the Scythe.
Oh, great Savage Roar. Long zip in, XM. It's a lot of mana now. I mean, have given him the cheese. Gobble up. All right, Winter's in. A very early use of the BKB, and they can just kite the 4 stars. First bash, gearing up for the Ravage. Winter is not going to mess around. Defensive Shadow Dance in his out, but that's a window now for Dire to play with.
We've got Rolling Thunder back up, though, so let's see how they're going to look to use this one. Actually has the Aeon Disc delivered forward as
Nice
well. And
toss.
if they can kill the bear, that's a big deal.
But XM's looking to try and save it with the Vortex. They've got the Global Silence out. Ava's going to be able to purge it off with the BKB. It's an incredible ultimate from Ava, but where's the boys? No one's there to follow up. XM's going to make the attempt, but he doesn't get the cheese to protect himself. So XM gone for 80 seconds, and with that, Piggy Killer
was resummoned.
They might look to try and double back here. But be cautious about Winter along with Han as well.
Looks like they'll be able to back off.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Fly, don't stick around for a bit too long. Did resummon the bear prior. They'd be pretty happy with getting this kill. They want to go for the hero instead, though. Winter charging on forward. 4 staffs have already been activated. The Gobble Up sending Han into the middle as well. Is the bonus health going to be enough to keep him alive? The Tendi's onto 2 for the Druid. He'll go down. He's got the Aegis to work with. The Hex there controlling up the Slark. The chain control needs to be perfect. The damage from outside might be enough. Winter just survives on a slither of health. They're already looking for more, though. Trying to find that follow-up out of the Rolling Thunder. It's not going to be enough.
Oh, just a little bit short.
Very chaotic fight. Chris, what's going on? I'm just going to slowly kill the
Pango, but yeah.
Meanwhile, back inside the lane of the remnants of the T2 tower, but the Snapfire's in trouble, but the Depth Shroud will keep them healthy for the moment. As soon as they pop out, what's the call to make here on Dire? But the Storm Spirit is back alive.
They just gotta wait for the side.
They've got to be cautious. They're going to buy back as well with the Rana. XM is going to try and find the opening. Got the BKB once again to get rid of the Silence. They'll turn towards the Pango. Now XM's already looking for the supporting cast, but they won't be able to cancel one TP, so they'll go for Winter instead. Again, the Shadow Dance, but as soon as he runs out, Hex is there instantly. Winter's really making him work for it. Silver's edge up in a couple of seconds, and he might live.
He will,
wow.
But you lose both of the other cores in the meantime. I was really surprised that they just let the Slark kite them around that entire time. He gets an Observer Ward on the retreat, approaching his level 25, so that's going to be really important for him, just to keep those Essence Shift stacks available for himself.
He bought out
gold away for all the Bloodthorn. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're fighting into this. Yeah, he sold it again, but he's still short for the buyback because of that. All of that reliable gold turned into unreliable. So never feels great. He wants to be able to go up into this creep wave and clear it out. At least he will have that buyback now.
Can they get Megas?
Can they get the kill on the Slark?
But the chain control Slark, well, he's got enough gold for buyback, but that's a huge win. He's going to use it instantly.
I think you got to try and make them potentially make a little bit of a backwards move, but they're not going to. They still feel really strong. You still got that cheese, double sight the Vice, Ravage is up as well.
And Ava's going to go for it. They got the target. Slark just brought back, and he might be dead for the last time this game. Beautifully done from Ava. You mentioned earlier the potential MVP. Found the Slark, locked onto his target. A big victory. Dude, the Chuck and Chola.
That's just memes.
Not Chola, not the Silencer. It's Hanyu on sent into the middle. He's trying to hold them into place, doing whatever he can here with the pain clear, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough. The double Ravage into the Vortex. Piggy Killers, it was a very difficult game too, but it looks like in the end, they will still be able to find the victory.
Yeah, very shaky. You know, one of the most horrific lanes for a low Druid that I've ever seen. And they were still having like a 60% win probability at the, what was it, like the 22-minute mark or so?